Hi, I'm Nave. Here was a clump of my split ends that I tore out in week 6 of the VTSDL S6 draft. This week is against AMLO, who was the other finalist in Season 5 of this league, and I won that league, so we're getting a run back of that finals, which is pretty exciting. That's a crowd pleaser. What isn't exciting is that he's playing Dozo, which makes me grumpy. I hate draft Dozo. It's not as bad as draft Sun or Rain, but it occupies like an S- tier with size spam, where if you don't curve them with good tiering, like you don't give Dozo Glamora, or if you let a Dozo team define themselves outside of being the Dozo team, like if you let it have a full sand mode and then it becomes the sand team and Dozo is there, it can spiral out of control very quickly and just not be fun for anyone to play against. The same can go for a side spam team that gets Sunroom, or like Sneasler or in DDM below S. And I don't know how I feel about Tatsudozo being allowed in single S in the first place. I was initially against it, because there's inherent incongruence in a format that limits brand name Tumon cores, namely size spam, that lets you run Tatsudozo. But I do think pretty much every Dozo team you can build here is forced to be the Dozo team, which I want them to be limited to anyway, so it depends on, is Tatsudozo just inherently too much stat for a Reg H draft, which we can't really know until it's done, so maybe it's fine. If you didn't come here for whining about tiering, you came for the team builder. I have a good matchup into the Dozo itself, but pretty contentious matchups with the rest of his team. Hisuian Zoroark is the only thing in the game that naturally walls Annihilate, so I either have to drop Rage Fist for coverage and not have Rage Fist, or drop a fighting move for coverage, which makes me significantly weaker to Bisharp. Trick Room doesn't really work because of Imprisoned Trick Room from Trevenant, even if I ignore that Belly Bloated difficulties into Donphan and Pachirisu, and Lurantis would need to hold an ability shield to do anything, and it can't really beat Geezing or boosted Dondozo in the first place. The hardest part of building here is just making sure everyone on the team had a use. Dozo outstats and outspeeds so much it's hard to squeeze use out of everything. And this isn't a matchup or really a player that I can afford to just bring the same 4 Pokemon with the same leads to every game, which I do a lot. But first, the centerpiece. Lead Noivern is faster than their entire team, including a 2 Jolly Dozo that is at +2. It can set Tailwind to make sure everyone else outspeeds Dozo as well. The only thing stopping it from setting up Tailwind on turn 1 is Scarf Draco Meteor from Tatsugiri, or a Hyper Beam or a Scarf Hyper Beam from Hisuian Zoroark, both of which are covered by Terra Steel, and I guess also Taunt. Scarf would also stop me, but who cares? I've got Cloak to block Persian's Fake Out, even if Persian is probably terrible here, and Scarf Icy Wind speed drops. Frisk gives me very valuable information, and it should guarantee being able to sniff out Zoroark's item. Of course, he can play informational mind games, or I can guess wrong. Most specifically, he can disguise as Tatsugiri or maybe Lapras. And Zoroark's likely items of Sash, Specs, and Starf could just all be Tatsus. But because Neutralizing Gas blocks Illusion, and all of Galarian Weezing's abilities announce themselves, it really only has the one disguise target, I think. So even if I get it wrong, it'll only work in one game. Super Fang is fun, unconditional, 50%, great for shaving down Dojo's health. And I have Draco Meteor for Tatsu, and I never leave home without my random taunt. Never leave home without your random taunt. But who do I lead Noivern next to? And that has 3 answers, but only one really counts. The first is Life Orb Annihilate. That's a little grape he's holding. See, wait, let me show you the grape. That's the little grape he's holding. It's a little grape. But without Rage Fist. The only thing Rage Fist is super good for here is the Weezing, which Earthquake can cover just fine. And I don't really see the point of Rage Fist when I can't extend Ape's longevity at all. Super Fang plus EQ should get the majority of his team, that isn't like Dozo, and it can fix my issues with spread damage, which I feel I have pretty low spread damage, and that's very bad against Dozo. If I had better spread damage, I could do I would probably be fine with just Terra Water Magmar next to that. But whatever, CC exploits his team's natural fighting weaknesses, and as well it just has a higher base power than Ape has attack. The natural bulk means all I need is Terra Water, so I can have some leniency against the Wave Crash for Dozo. It's pretty useless against a commanded Dozo, but what am I going to do? Ghost Curse it? I'm not a Mimikyu. The stat thread is pretty complicated. It's faster than every Galarian Weezing, and that's kind of it. I know I had a bunch of numbers for this and I just forget. This lives like a wave. I know this lives a Wave Crash. This is the end in 9 number. This is for living a strain. This lets me live a Life Orb Strain Steam at 1, but then I died on my own Life Orb Recoil, so whatever. The second and third options I have are more adjustments, but they still help. Offensive Magmar lets me burn Dondozo if there's no Misty Surge and or Nuke Revenant if it comes. It's offensive because setup is useless against Dozo, and like I said, my spread damage is weak, so that's also not an option. The only setup that would work is Scope Lens Annihilate, which I was going to bring until this morning, but I changed in my mind. It's capable of many of the same Super Fang combos as Annihilate can with Earthquake, even though it could probably only do them once unless the Dondozo like Terra steals. It's really just for Trevenant though, because it's kind of useless in the back, and it's also not that good against Trevenant if it comes with Pachirisu, or if it has a Terra that is resistant to fire rather than neutral to it. So I may have exaggerated what I said about everyone pulling their weight, but this still feels the safest. This feels like the option that threatens. This feels like the option that you could guess my lead wrong on the most. And then the third is Belly Bolt. Besides the Volt Absorb Pachirisu, the Dawnfan, the Trevenant, and even the neutralizing gas weakening, it's really good here. Scaring Dozo with Electromorphosis Thunderbolt is very good. Leading Noivern and Belly Bolt was actually my plan A, but having the Discharge next to Noivern to hit anything next to Pachirisu kind of sucked, and Muddy Water can also Defiant Boost Bisharp, or miss. But combined with Tailwind and this good natural bulk, if it gets hit second in a turn and maybe kill something, I'll have a fast Electromorphosis charge which lets me kill outright, or at minimum gives me a safe switch into Gastrodon. It's permanently in the back, it forces Dozo to not use Wave Crash. It's an extremely good piece in the matchup here. Terra Fairy just so I can always True Wall Tatsugiri if I preserve Terra for that long. I went back and forth on the spread and item. Originally it's 252 plus Defense Bold with the same speed and Citrus Berry. Like Belly Bolt, which I didn't mention, it will always outspeed Dondozo and Tailwind unless it's Jolly. But it's 1 point faster than Bolt, so I can do Clear Smog plus Thunderbolt and likely Oko it. But I will Oko. I will kill that with that double up. But, and like I wanted to have all that bulk and citrus so I could like make the bulkiest thing ever and stall it out forever. But that only works until I get Terra Blast Grass, and it doesn't help me against the special attackers, which are very fast and very strong. So I realized the far better strategy is just to use Clear Smog to make its Buso go away, which I can stall it forever if that happens anyway. And then, you know, Clear Smog is great, I was always going to bring that, but it likely forces Terra Steel. Clear Smog, I think, forces Terra Steel, and I don't want to lead, and if I just, like, do a Clear Smog into a Terra Steel and get Earthquake, I probably lose. So, you have one less guy for that. Haunter. Haunter Haze is a perfect Dozo answer, and because it has the Sash, it means as long as I play the leads right and get Tailwind set up, I can just get the Haze off and then live, and even if I don't get the Tailwind off, I just live a hit Haze and then I'm fine. Let's Wave and T-Bolt do at least half to everything but Bisharp on this team. Combined, if it's next to Gastrodon and like a Terra Fairy, it's possible Dozo will be completely unable to hit it if it's running the real VGC set of Wave Crash, Order Up, Earthquake. The goal of this Haunter is just to force out the Terra from Dondozo. If it's Terra Steel, I just keep using Haunter and maybe bring Belly Bolt instead of Gastrodon. But if it's not, I can drop Haunter for Belly Bolt, game 1 or 2, and then go with the Clear Smog thing. So, what am I scared of here? Fucking everything. There's so many tricks and bullshits just embedded in Dozo and its friends, Galarian, Weezing, and Hisuian Zoroark. So if Dozo in particular is GG, I lose. And Noivern's weakness to Order Up can be really disastrous if it stops me from setting Tailwind up twice, which I need to beat Hisuian Zoroark and a Scarf Tatsugiri in the back. But like, I didn't consider Order Up enough in my prep because I took it for granted that he would bring Order Up. I mean, that he would bring Misty Surge, and like, you don't really want to bring Misty Surge and Order Up together, but like, if he does, that's really bad. So, pretty much kind of a late uh-oh for me. But I have extremely contentious answers for Pachirisu Bisharp lead, and as well as lead Scarf Tatsugiri. I don't have anything that lives a +2 Terra Dark Sucker Punch without Terra, and my plan was like, against that lead is like, okay, so I taunt the Pachirisu turn 1 with Noivern, I EQ to get it down to half and force it to either Terra to kill the ape, which would remove the Bisharp's dragon resistance, and allowing Noivern to kill it with Draco. And if it doesn't Terra, the ape lives and I get to kill it anyway. But Noivern is too weak from that. Even a max special attack Noivern is only a roll to do 50 damage to it, because if you like Bisharp, is absolutely insane. The lead Tatsugiri forces me to Terra Noivern to steal, and if it's only if it's Scarf. And even if there's potentially a lot of reward to immediately killing it with CC, if it's terror, like there's a lot of potential reward to immediately killing Tatsugiri with CC, because, then there's no Tatsudozo, but that's easy to read, and the stupid Dozo switch out thing wouldn't work. And again, if the Tatsugiri is Ghost, that won't work at all. There's just a lot of 50-50s that I have to think very hard on. We're putting on our thinking cap today. But I'm really worried about one thing. Every set I've lost so far in this league has been to a player I beat in Season 5. I beat Quirt in week 2, I beat Parry twice in the same season, and now, against my finalist opponent from last season, I'm worrying that there's some causal trend developing where everyone's going to get the run back on me. And, if we take that to playoffs where all we have to do is play people who already played before, that's going to be really bad for me. But, is there a causal trend? Am I doomed to repeat my mistakes or repeat my successes? Who knows? You have to watch to find out. So this is very bad. This is not what I expected. There is no Tatsugiri at all, which is very bad. That's the Pachirisu Prevenant mode I knew about and was very scared of. But this is a big departure from what it was, because now I don't get much out of Frisks and Noivern because of no Tailwind, right? This is hard TR. He banked on no Trick Room counters and he was right. Very, very poor matchup here. I think we're going to have to do, because we still have Taunt. So I think we still have Taunt, we can still do this. This is still fine. And then we do this and this in the back. Revenant and Pachirisu, pretty expected. I think here, they're like the Gen 6 Legendary theme, that's funny. So the Pachirisu, it's Covert Cloak, and the Trevenant is Life Orb. That is pretty interesting. I think I know what we do here. We Super Fang and we Earthquake. That much seems pretty easy. Because you have no Berry. I do give you a free switch in, which isn't too good, but you set up Trick Room. Yep. So what have we here? What do we have here? We have to protect the Aptidida Squirrel. Because now since I'm Terra Water, I don't have protection against either move here, which is rough. So I think because we still have this with Dozo, so I think this was Rocky Helmet? What did... Oh, it frisked me and found my items. That's what I was looking at. Okay. It didn't matter. So then we Super Fang. I think we have to Draco and Throat Chop you. Normal is just fine. Soak is whatever. I live that. Yep. And now we protect and we go. Now we protect and we Draco again. We protect and we Draco the. Is what that did 41. That will not kill again. So we're just going to haunt. We're going to Super Fang the Dozo. Yep, 1. Ooh, that's pretty fortuitous. That's pretty fortuitous. That's quite funny. So that's a Lefty's Dozo. Living at 1 is so funny. My hero. So then we go into Boober here. We have to go into Boober here. We're just going to taunt you again. Who fucking knows. As long as Boober lives through the turn, we should be okay, because then we just double protect. We double protect, and then we can, like, I don't know, close combat forever. I don't know what could be in the back. What are moves here? And I think he's got that. I think, no, because I think Liquidation and Horn Leech or Liquidation Poltergeist onto Ape is a pretty reasonable play. But, yeah. Yeah, Liquidation and then Poltergeist to make sense. Ooh, Horn Leech. That mattered. Death Drop mattered. That sucks. No Wave Crash sucked, but we got the whatever that's called, so we're just gonna taunt you with Protect. With your Soak, Liquidation, and then what? I do want to know if that, let's see how much that Death Drop mattered. 252 plus attack, Adamant, Horn Leech does, yeah, you die. Yeah, that mattered. And then Woodhammer, you can't do anything about that. How much did Third Shop do? Third Shop did not do enough to be notable. I know I'm faster. 252 Trevenant. What does that take from Gastrodon? 252 Trevenant, the Terra's Ghost will die to this. So, let's power you and post combat you. That's not good. That's fine. I should have had Inner Focus. What was I thinking? No, I think we have this, because this, depending on what this Dozer's last move is, I should outspeed this Donphan. And then I Ice Beam it. Or like Iris Power it again. And this should work. This should always work. There's Power, and we close combat you. Yep. I'm asleep. Earth Plate and Life Orb. And then I guess we Earth Power the dude? What do you have? You have Trick Room, Horn Leech, whatever that is. Donphan should not have. Let's see if Donphan's got a fucked up tech move. Donphan's got Trailblaze, but it's not clicking it. Yep. And and Lug Sweet BB. And that had Poltergeist, right? No, it had Horn Leech, Woodhammer. So then the last move was Poltergeist. Good. So we're gonna bring easing again. We should take note of the items, right? We learned because we learned most of them. We learned your Covert Cloak. We learned your Rocky Helmet. We know your leftovers, and we don't know what you are because you're not Life Orb. You're probably like Soft Sand or Choice Band. You're not Choice Band or Life Orb, so you're like Soft Sand, and you're not Citrus, so you're like Soft Sand. I think we have to bring Noivern again. We bring Noivern again, but we also bring Boober, is what I think. We lead Boober. Or yeah, we do that. We lead Noivern Boober. But that should be enough offense to cover everything. Do we keep Ape in the back? I don't know if we keep Ape in the back. We'll definitely bring you. We can't justify Belly Bolt here. Just these three will have to work. Is what I just have to get the first off. I don't think he can do the same Super Fang trick twice. I think this is when he does Weezing Galar, And Ratatouille, neutralizing gas. Here we tailwind, so we now wait. No, that can't be a what's its name? It's impossible for that to be a. And then so we taunt you. We know I don't know your item, but we know what we live, and I know that we live. Super Fang, overheat. I know that we live that. What do you got? Yeah. Toxic spikes is whatever. No. No. If only my poison. That's awesome. And then we just Draco Meteor and overheat this, right? What can this do to me? It's Hex. I know it's Hex. I know it's Hex. I smell the Hex and I don't care. That's even finer. Okay. But this does half. No way this doesn't do half. Yeah. And then 8-beta grape should just have this. You can't... Sure, I lower my stats forever, but what can you do? We still just Draco this, because what at -2? This has to be a Sasor Arc or something. We, how much do we do at -2? At -2 we do like 50-ish. At -4 we do 38-ish. Ground is fine. Sure, go ground. Oh, wait, no, because then I just Terra, yeah. That doesn't matter, because now I know what I know what to do. I just follow me. And then I just follow me and press power the Zoroark. That's like specs, I guess. And then Ape plus the other thing can't win. Actually, no, because we should follow me. We don't know any items here, but I should do this. I should do this, right? This should be fine. You're sure you can protect, but no, I got okay. I flubbed that one. That was a big flub. It was a big flub. What do I take from this? Paraground. If I'm Gastrodon, I'm faster than... I should be faster than this Weezing. We live this... We live a Shadow... I know we live a Shadow Ball. I know we live a Shadow Ball. I know we live... This isn't life... Because, yeah, this has to be... something. Yep. Third shot. GG. That was good. Sure. That was very unexpected, but very good. My first... Repeat. That was great. That was fun. I don't know. It was goofy. I should have tailwind on the Noivern, but I didn't need it. All right, that was fun. Whatever. I don't know what to say about that. That was great.